Hi, I'm Adam Jahns from the Chicago Sun-Times, and I'm joined here at Hallis Hall by colleague Patrick Finley. Pat, we just met with Phil Emery for about 45 minutes, a lot of draft talk, a lot of evaluations talks, a lot of talk about safety and defensive tackles. And I think the big thing that comes out of this is that the Bears have narrowed their list to at least 6 players who they are targeting or hope would be there at number 14. Who are your best guesses right now?
My best guesses are probably Aaron Donald, although it didn't sound to me like Phil was very confident he'd still be there at 14. The two safeties, Clinton Dix from Alabama, Calvin Pryor from Louisville, maybe the linebacker C.J. Mosley, and maybe the corners, Darquise Dennard and Justin Gilbert. That would be my guess. How about you?
I think I'm in the same regard there. They have defensive needs. I don't think Phil Emery nixed any of them. I think it's very clear that they have a wide open competition at safety. They actually use wide open to define their safety competition, especially with Chris Connie coming off shoulder surgery. And they need the big guys up front, get big guys in the middle, and that's where Aaron Donald would fit in here. But you're right, I don't see a scenario, or there's too many teams right now with needs in the trenches too.
Yeah, and Phil was clear. He said, when all things are equal, he values defensive line play over any other position on the defense. And if you're trying to read the tea leaves, that would lead you to think that he wants a D lineman more than anything else. The problem is the one guy that makes sense there at 14 is probably not going to be there.
Now, Phil talked a lot about the offensive quality of this draft, but he didn't. He did rule out, I would say, in his own way, of taking a quarterback in the first round. Everything else is on the board: receiver, tight end, even running back. They're all on the board, but quarterback. What do you make of this?
First of all, there's no way he drafts an offensive player in the first round, although it was interesting to hear him say that he was open to it. Part of that's probably posturing for a trade, or in case he has a trade partner out there. He also said that they had done a study that quarterbacks drafted after the third round in the last 5 years just haven't worked out, haven't started, haven't gotten entrenched anywhere. So that seemed to rule out the fact that they'd even draft a guy late. I mean, to me, I didn't sense that Phil had an appetite for a quarterback at all.
Well, we do spend a lot of time talking about the defense, but let's stick with the offense here. They do have some needs offensively. Yeah, it's not a quarterback. Jay Cutler is here long term. But they need a backup running back to give Matt Forte a break, and they need another receiver. They're high on Marquise Wilson, but they like somebody in here to push him, don't they?
Yeah, totally. And, I think that they would probably go with a running back before they'd go with a wideout. You'd probably look 4th, 5th, 6th round. You could get a lot of really productive players there, at least who were productive in college. And as for wide receiver, I think it's interesting. He went out of his way to praise Wilson, and that has to be a good sign for the young guy.
Well, that wraps up this Bears Beat video. The draft is still a week away. Stay with SunTimes.com for all our Bears coverage.